When I tell you, man, oh man, you really have to stand firm and be steadfast on this journey, because it's like you could just be having an amazing day, amazing life, enjoying your time, doing the things that you like, minding your business, standing on your business, being about your business, and just focusing on you, focusing on self-love, focusing on source, having, like, for me, I have like a very disciplined schedule in life. Okay. My spirituality means everything to me. It's a way of life for me. It's not like some people can just put on the spiritual suit, and just act as if, just masquerading. But for me, I'm true to it. So I have a very disciplined life, just basically with like meditating and praying and paying attention to the signs, and just always staying in tune with my inner, building that relationship. So I'm minding my business, living in the present moment, learning self-inquiry, and just trying to figure out who I really am. Like, who is it that's aware of this experience? I mean, like, I know me, I know universal wisdom, that's me. I know this is me talking, I can see my body and all of that stuff, but it's deeper than that. It's like, who is it that's aware of this body? Who is it that's aware of this recording? Who is it that's aware of, the words that's coming out of my mouth? Who is it that's aware of, this life period, these experiences? Who is it that's in the present moment? Who is this observer? So it's a lot of things that, I do on an everyday basis, and I just live my life a certain type of way, but I'm minding my business, living my life with ease, just being who I normally am, and boom, all of a sudden, here go somebody from the past that hurt me. I let it go. Of course, I let it go. A long time ago, I kind of practically forgot about the person. They just was like kind of in the back of my mental Rolodex, like in the back of the file cabinet back there in the backyard, back there somewhere. So, I won't lie and say that, I wouldn't think about this person from time to time. And most of the time when I thought about this person from time to time, in the past, it have been some negative feelings. I really just didn't like the person. After everything went down, I would fantasize sometimes about beating the person up and all of that, because of what they took me through. And but I'm over that. I forgave that person. Like I said, really just never really thought about them that much. But then they pop back up. So all I have to say is, when the person, or if anyone who has hurt you, return, you vet them. Understand, when I say vet them, I do not mean just, oh, how you been doing, and and all this other kind of stuff, and then allowing them to just get back in that position that they was in. No, you don't allow that. You vet them. And I mean, you vet them into the point where they have proven to you, okay, that they have changed their ways, because you don't have time for that. You overcame that. Like, that's the past anyway. So it's like, I know that I'm supposed to forgive, and I did that a long time ago, but we all know now that forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It does not mean restoration. It doesn't require that in order to be able to forgive someone. Because forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. So that person came back, and by them being a family member, it was like, since I had already, gotten over what happened, when they came back, they apologized. We talked, and just basically I forgave them, but I kept them behind the long handle spoon for a while. And that, in the South, when we say, we feed you with a long handle spoon, that means we won't mess with you like that. We won't mess with you all the way. It's like we mess with you just a little bit. We just gonna keep you at bay so that we can see what you're gonna do, because you've already burned me before. So you gotta stay behind that long handle spoon for a minute and let me see. So I did that for like a year. I kept them at bay. Right? It was just talking and messaging and stuff like that. So finally, like after a year and maybe some change, right, I allowed this person to literally physically come back into my life. Now mind you, I didn't forget, what type of person this was. I didn't forget what they displayed to me years back. However, I do believe that Source can restore. I do believe that Source can work in their heart and people change, because I'm the living proof. I changed. So that would just be absurd for me to think that, nobody else could change until I allowed this person back into my life. And they attempted to do the exact same thing. They did some of the same things they were doing when we were, trying to get to know each other a little better back then. They were doing things like taking pictures of me off guard, just being messy, getting in my business, talking, all kind of craziness about me, just trying to sabotage stuff, just being jealous and envious, just doing all types of things. So this time, when I allowed this person back, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's my sister. She's my sister. So I said, well, I do want to try to build a relationship back with my sister, because life's short. And then on top of that, this is another segment, another era of life. So I was feeling like, okay, I'll give it another go, so I allowed this person back in my life. And mind you, when you in the thick of it, right, you trying to use your discernment and you can sense certain things, but it's like, I'm not gonna just act like I'm just so perfect and know exactly every time what's going on. I sensed the signs, but it was like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm being a little paranoid because of what this person did the last time. I'm thinking that, maybe I'm just tripping a little bit. I'm gonna just ride it out and see what Source is trying to show me. So the first thing she asked me when we started actually talking on the phone is if she can FaceTime me just so she can see me. I found that quite weird, that she wanted to see me. So I never let her see me, but until probably, like I said, like a year later, when I actually allowed her to physically come back into my life, and we went on a nature walk. And one of my other sisters was there too. We estranged as well. We've been estranged as of like 3 or 4 years. So she was there and we got there. So we all chopping it up. We telling each other, catching up, telling each other what we've been doing in life and all of this stuff. So I start feeling low vibrational energy, right? because of course I'm tapped in, so I can feel you before I cannot look at you and feel you. I cannot be looking at you at all and I can feel exactly what's coming up off of you. So I could feel the animosity, I could feel the envy and the jealousy, off of her, because every time I spoke about something, she tried to outdo what I was saying and just being over abrasive and aggressive and all of that stuff. So I thought to myself, oh yeah, this right here, this low vibration is still the same. So this sister that I told you I had just let back into my life, she noticed it too. So we had a conversation about it. So me and her, we getting a little closer. Me and her done went to the nature walk together. Me and the one that, I had just let back into my life. Then we ended up going to my brother. He's not her, we don't share him as a brother. Let's just put it like that. My brother's funeral. And she tried to start an argument with me at my brother's funeral, knowing how triggered I was and all that. So she tried to start an argument and all that stuff. So that was another flag. So I said, oh, okay, one more and you out. It's like the pot was boiling over. I'm like, she got one more time to try to be slick and she out of here. So of course that time came and she failed the test and she disrespected me in an indirect way out her mouth. And so I was just so like, wow, this is what I spent time on. I literally wasted my time. So I'm like, I already knew what time it was. So I didn't lose my shit because I wanted to. I wanted to whoop that ass for old and new. You hear me? But I say it's not worth it. It's not worth me setting myself back with source 10 steps just so I can put my fist down your throat. That's not going to be conducive to my walk. So I just played it off and got off the phone with her. So ever since then, I haven't spoke to her. I haven't said anything. I blocked her number. I ain't blocked her off of my little social media yet, because she's only on one platform of my social media. I ain't blocked her yet, but I'm doing it strategically because I'm trying to, do it a certain type of way. However, I'm through with her. She'll never get that chance to ever try to disrespect me or anything like that, because you sent for me. I didn't send for you. I wasn't thinking about you. You just came back just to see what I was doing in life and to see if you can get back in that same position so that you can benefit from, whatever it was you was benefiting from our last go round. So all I want to just say is vet them. Even if it take 2 years, make them prove to you who they are, because as soon as they feel like they back in their position, they gonna strike and try to disrespect you again, and then that's gonna be a test to you. You gonna have to hold every piece of everything you got, because you gonna want to choke the life, do you hear me, out of this person for playing with you, for playing with your time, and just being that miserable that you want to seek somebody out and you wait for the perfect time to try to strike on them because you've been envious this whole time. So vet them. I suggest don't let them back in your life. Don't forgive them. Please forgive them in your heart. Truly forgive them. Let it go. Let the bitterness, let the anger go. Let the what they did to you, let it go. Just basically let it go. Forgive them. Forgive them. Find it in your heart and in your mind. So find a perspective on how to forgive. How I learned to forgive is that some of the people that did me wrong in my lifetime, some of my biggest villains, I realized was just some of my biggest teachers. Okay, they were human beings also, which means they were growing. They wasn't working on themselves. They was just going, they went through trauma just like I did. I don't know the whole story on what they went through, but I know when they passed away, what Source had to show me was, you look at these people like villains, like they monsters, but look how other people see them. Look how much love they showed to others. Look how they changed other people's lives. Now, they might have been the villain in your life, but look how big of a blessing they were in other people's lives. So just because the way that they was a teacher to you was more harsh, or maybe even just plain out wicked, that's what you needed for who you know what I'm saying, are going to become. You needed that life lesson. You needed that experience. So other people needed that experience in some other type of way, and they showed it to them. Like, I want to say, two of the biggest, wickedest, narcissistic villains in my life that was after me every single time they got a chance, the biggest monsters in my life spiritually, was a blessing to others. So that right there shows me that no matter how people act, it's coming from a certain place, and hurt people. And just because they were a villain in your life don't mean they wasn't a blessing to other people. And that shows that they have light somewhere inside of them. So how can, I be so quick to continue to see them as villains when I learned from, what they caused. I learned from it. I overcame it, and I'm resilient, and I'm brilliant, and I'm spiritual, and I'm loved, and I'm worthy, and I'm cherished. And these are all the things that I feel for myself, and I'm loved. Okay? I'm all of those things. So who am I to keep pointing the fingers at them? Because they might have been at a level when they was around me, just unconscious, just not conscious to what they was really doing. And even if they were, they still was a light to someone else. So that helps me. For me, that helps me be able to forgive in my heart. It doesn't mean that I wanted to reconcile or anything like that, but I was able to let go of the bitterness. I was able, to let go of the hurt, the pain. It was a heavy burden. Do you understand me? And when you lift that forgiveness up off of your heart, it's like a river. You can feel literally like an open space, like a river is running through it. Before that, it's cluttered with pain, misery, bitterness, all of those things. It's just taking up space for no reason. And when you let that go, when you lift that heavy burden up off of you, you can feel it literally. You literally have so much joy after you forgive. So it's vital. It's essential. Because if you don't forgive, those shackles going to stay around your throat and keep you shackled to the past. While these people have moved on with their life, being happy, being joyous. Some of them have passed away, done went on to a new life, and you still hanging on, to that same pain and misery, and being a detriment to yourself. You have to forgive. It's vital. It's vital. You have to. In order for you to move on, in order for you to go to your next time and become the greatest version of yourself, and being able to walk in your purpose. Forget that stuff. This is just an experience. It's not that serious. Nothing was ever to hurt us. And once we realize that, once we're able to lean on Source in that way and have that faith like that, man, you unstoppable then. But that don't mean that the weapons ain't gonna be formed. You hear me? Vet them. If you decide to let them back in your life, vet them. But I suggest when the ones that hurt you come back, you leave them right there for Source to work in that heart. you.